here we are. Now you can see what we look like. This is Eddie, as you guys know, our lead designer. Thank you for joining us. We are getting a little bit of a late start. I apologize for that. We had a few things we needed to set up. And we're still waiting for Farren, who will be joining us in a little bit. And the reason why I have Eddie, our lead designer, here, and Farren coming shortly is we got some pretty big announcements to make, but we'll wait till she shows up.
Yes.
In the meantime, I'm going to start a game up, so we might as well just play around,
cool.
right?
Yeah, let's do that.
No reason to wait on that.
Yeah, I love to play. I was just chatting up Discord right now.
Anything interesting going on with those guys?
Not so much. Let's see. Major Herbhead.
Major Herbhead. Major.
I just call him Major.
Major.
I don't know why I call him Maj.
I just call him Major. That's fine.
Major.
It's fine.
Major's having some FPS drops recently.
What?
I think we noticed that on the internal build yesterday.
Yeah, but that's not what they're playing. So
yeah, so
weird,
I haven't had any issues on the actual live build.
It's kind of warm in here. I'm going to show off my
go for it. Yeah,
Fractured Land spirit a little bit.
What else are we taking off, Robert?
hey, cool it, man. Cool it. All right? See, I like this casual atmosphere. I hope you enjoy it, too. You know, there's been a lot of questions about whether or not we should have, like, a really close-up cam. And,
really?
Yeah. Well, I'd like to do one, actually, on this monitor here, so we can zoom in on this if we want to. So that's coming soon. But in the meantime, I do also like this wide shot that we can just kind of
and you got a really
couch.
You did a pretty good job setting everything up here.
We're not regular streamers.
Have you got
studio? Professional.
Have you gotten any complaints about the like playing setup, or is everyone pretty happy with it?
Not so far, but there's a lot of people over there quiet. They're like, oh, stupid setup is terrible. I'd say something, but I just don't care that much. Right now, I'm just waiting for more people to join this match. 13 so far. We didn't
change the squad number. I remind Kevin every day. I guess I forgot to remind him right now.
I'm also wearing my Fractured Lands hat.
I'm actually gonna have him do it. So let me step out. Let me step out for a couple minutes. I'll
come
be right
join
back.
me in just a second.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for joining us. Oh no, we had 2 drops. Come on. Come back in. Come play with us. I know Kendall's has stepped away. Hello, Loqua Pop. Hello, Roger. That Cracks. Yeah, hello, Cracks. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the people jumping on our stream. We're going to be talking about some pretty important stuff, but we're waiting for a couple people to show up to help us usher in those conversations. So in the meantime, let's just play some Fractured Lands and have some fun. Nice and casual, nothing crazy going on. If you guys are in the Discord, please join us as well. I'll let you guys know that will be on right now. Join us in stream. Woo! Twitch.tv. Yeah, you guys really don't want to miss what we're going to be talking about today. It's some pretty important things regarding the future of Fractured Lands, so to speak.
Oh, right.
And we'll repeat it, of course, in like the blog and put it on social and stuff like that after we're done. But that's the whole reason we're having it here first, so you guys can catch it live.
The exclusive.
You can ask us questions along the way, so that's another thing that you won't be able to do as much, in like a blog or say social. We'll try to be responsive as well, but this is like a perfect place to ask any questions you might have about what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, I answer personal questions too, so please fire away.
Sometimes too much. But yeah.
I just got Kevin, by the way. He's going to be resetting the servers. Our minimum's going to switch to, I think, 20.
Okay.
We're still getting more devs in, so hopefully we don't have any problems reaching 20.
He sent a reminder earlier, but I'm not seeing everyone jump on. So
oh, really? Well, I can always open the door and yell at people.
Okay, get on.
Yeah.
It's a dev play day, not a normal.
Well,
play
we're
day.
already at 17, so maybe we'll get a few more Discord people jumping in and hit 20.
Yeah.
Hey, Major, how's it going, buddy?
He's here. I was talking to. It looks like the match might begin. Otherwise, maybe hope it doesn't kick us off out of that. But we'll see.
I think hopefully, I'm not sure. Actually, it should be resetting.
Hello, Sir John Cheese. Thanks for joining us.
John Cheese.
Thanks for making all the crazy
with the
images.
Posters. Which one's been your favorite so far?
Oh, the RoboCop.
The RoboCop?
RoboPop, for sure. That was the best one, I think.
I don't know, but the Titanic one kind of
warmed
warmed my heart a little bit.
All right, let's see if I can't survive for all the time that we will have in this first match here. And I got the lead designer here, so he'll critique every move I make and tell me how I'm not playing right and how I don't understand his gun layouts or anything like that. Like, oh, you didn't even...
No, you got a good team there. You have Fat Kid. He's our weapons artist and our vehicle artist.
Yeah.
He's kind of a modeler. I don't know Durian or Bean.
Those are players.
Devs or
Those
are
are
players?
players.
There
goes
is.
that kid.
Yeah.
Well, that was a
All
fun
right,
few seconds.
We'll get 20 people on the next one. That'll give more time for Discord people to hop
Sorry
in,
to make you guys wait. We'll go right back into it. Especially since, so again, you know what we're going to be talking about, right?
So you mentioned a little bit about what you... I'm not going to say anything, but you did mention a little bit about what you... I don't know if, like, specifics or anything like that, but...
Well, I put together some discussion points, and we'll pop them up on the screen.
And then
so
just
everyone can see them. Yeah.
Answer questions.
We'll talk about everything that goes up.
Okay, cool.
And I think we even have a surprise ready for the end there. Kind of. Well,
surprise.
Anyway,
I don't know anything about surprises, so
I'm
excited.
There's a few things.
I'm excited. I don't know anything about surprises.
Yeah. No, it's surprises to you too. That's the best part. Surprises that you don't even know about. So, yeah. Farren kind of told me about that earlier today, and then Roland dropped it off just a second ago.
Okay.
So it just barely made it in. That's why we were like a minute or two late. But yeah, we're here.
I have no idea what's going on with Fractured Lands, obviously.
Excellent. That's the way it should be. Don't tell the lead designer anything. He doesn't need to know. Okay, but yeah, jump back into the match if you guys got booted out, as I assumed you did, like we did. Because Kevin restarted the server, but we should be able to play in just a second.
Awesome. I gotta say, I'm like...
Well, now I'm on a full dev team.
Oh, now we got a full dev team.
Pete,
so we still
Leon,
got
Trevor.
Yeah, Fat Kid, Cosmo Reverb. He's I can't say what he's working on right now. And then we got our art
He's
director,
working on Fractured Lands.
Brazilian. Yeah, Cosmo Reverber's working on Fractured Lands. But I wanted to say that I was pretty excited when you set this whole dev playtest on live. On the live game so that we could play with players, because it's kind of really nice to, even if it's only twice a week, to just hop on the game, get a good number of players out there with like a good minimum game. We
already have 20.
Yeah, we already got 20, and we're rolling squads, which is awesome. And it's always a lot of fun to play with all of our sponsored influencers and everybody else who bought the game and just kind of enjoy it,
Because since early access launch, we play with players now and then, but it isn't common that we all plan to play at any one time.
Exactly.
And I felt like, well, it's not so much that people aren't playing the game as much as they would want to. It's just that not everyone always plays at the same times. So what we initially did is we set the prime time schedule. And we had that initially for all regions. We did a European prime time schedule that's 10 a.m. We had a later primetime schedule for North America and even a later one for Asia. And at first that was very helpful, but it's still not one of those things that everyone can constantly keep track of. Plus, so we can't always count on people showing up those hours. Like, for instance, if it's the EU one, maybe the Asian players won't show up then.
Right.
People aren't always, able to support each other because sometimes they got to sleep, sometimes they got to work. Excuses, really. So we thought
they should be doing Fractured Lands 24/7,
baby. So we were like, well, we play too, and we're not always sticking to the schedule as well. So it's on our fault as well.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, sometimes we have work to do. We're like, well, what's the time that we normally play? Well, we normally have play tests at 5. Hi, Mario Madness. Thanks for joining us.
Mario! What's up, buddy?
So we're like, well, let's take a couple of those playtest days and do it live. Because sometimes playtests aren't to test new content. Sometimes it's just to see how the game's running.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, let's just do a live one instead of doing an internal one. And that makes sense for us. So I hope it helps. I hope it helps people get big matches just like here said.
I find myself now looking forward to Tuesday and Thursday evenings just because of this. And I think it's also a really nice touch that now that we get to stream and answer questions and just show them that it's actually us playing with them, and Great job, Robert. I'm gonna pat you on the back because
Thank you.
I really
Give it a
enjoy.
shot.
I mean, I don't take the initiative on.
Well, you're busy designing, and
But it's
that's
pretty
fun.
awesome that you like set these things up so we can stay connected to our players, who are pretty much the most important people on our
Oh,
minds
for
while
sure
we
they are,
work
yeah.
on this game.
Yeah.
So we don't want to let them down and get in this time to kind of play and enjoy the game with them. It's
Speaking of
very
players,
rewarding.
for all you guys watching, I want to make sure that also we have these dev play days. We don't have one scheduled on Saturday, but someone else does.
Oh, really?
One of our earlier players, someone who played with us before even the beta.
Oh, wow.
We reached out to her, and she helped us alpha test and pre-alpha test this game.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's Yowie Bear.
Oh, okay.
Yowie Bear, sometimes she goes by.
And she'll be streaming on...
She is going to be doing a Battle Royale event stream.
Oh, nice.
And she's from South Africa, so she's going to be starting at approximately 6 a.m.
On
Pacific
Saturday?
time on our Saturday.
Okay,
And going
okay.
to, I think, like 2 or something. But she
Nice.
said around 11 o'clock, she's jumping into Fractional Lands.
Oh, sweet.
So we hooked her up with some keys.
11 o'clock our time.
Yeah, 11
Okay.
a.m. PST or PT on Saturday. And so we hooked her up with some keys. So if you have any friends who don't have Fractures Lands yet, please invite them to join
All
her.
right. I
She
think
can-
I'll be hopping on.
Yeah, she may give
I'll
out
be
some
checking
keys
it.
then, and you guys can
All
pick it
right.
up. And, of course, play with her so we can make sure that she has some good matches. So I'll be posting those times again in both Discord and our social. So, yeah, make sure you check
Hopefully,
out Yowie Bear's stream and
If
have
we
a
can
good
get
time on
enough for
Saturday.
squads, I'll be hopping on. Anyone want to squad up with me?
There
Let's
you go.
do it on Saturday morning at 11 a.m.
That's right.
Hopefully, if we get enough players to launch a tribal mode.
Pacific time.
Yeah.
Nitroid, not PT as in the horror game canceled. Pacific time. Sorry. Fractured Lands, 11 a.m. Pacific time. But I hope you enjoy it all the same. Thanks for joining us, Nitroid.
Leroy, what's up, buddy?
All right, here we go. I'm going to go find my team members.
All right, let's do this. So, how have you been experiencing the game without being able to communicate with anyone?
You know,
Squads, are you having like a lot of trouble, or
for sure.
are you hanging
But
in there?
I kind of I'm playing like tribe modes almost like a solo player would.
Okay,
You know, I'm
I
just
see.
like enjoying myself.
Yeah, you're doing your own thing, but you're keeping an eye on your
Yeah,
teammates.
keep an eye on
you
them, I'll
follow
support them.
That's good. That's good.
They've come support me. I've done a lot of miming. In fact, I think I played one of the rounds that we did on stream with you. You're on my team, and I was like,
Oh, we
dropping
were
stuff in front of you,
communicating.
like,
That's right.
shaking my gun around, going like, hey,
Yeah,
hey,
right here.
Right
That's true. I
So,
do
yeah.
remember that.
I think once I was playing with it was either Dean or Bennett or somebody, and like he needed a moonshine, and I was like dancing in front of him when he was trying to aim, and he kept like going in front of me, and I was like, no, and I dropped the moonshine. I was like pointing it on the ground. Eventually got the hint. So, well, it looks like we're headed to last Bastion, which is good. Last Bastion.
Last Bastion.
Last
Yeah.
Bastion. Yeah, that's right. That is a great place to live.
It's a pretty popular area. It used to be called. We always used to call it downtown.
Right.
And it was very blocked off. It was like walled off on every single side.
Yes.
Which meant that vehicles really couldn't traverse in the area. So you kind of had to leave your vehicle outside in a vulnerable spot and then run inside to the downtown area, which was kind of very fortified, pretty much like a fortress, and then just grab all the ungodly loot in there because there's a ton of loot. But we were getting a lot of feedback. We were reading on Discord, and we were getting feedback here from devs that for navigation purposes, it wasn't very friendly, So like when we introduced, for example, the semi, it was not a friendly place to the semi.
It's hard to even get in it.
It's hard to, yeah, exactly. It was almost impossible to get in with the semi unless you knew like one or two secret spots.
Yeah.
And then if you got in, it was even harder to get out.
Right.
And it ended up taking up also a lot of the pre-round time to even just get in, and you wouldn't have a lot of time to loot. So there's like, even though the fortification was super cool and it allowed you to feel safe once you were inside, it was causing kind of a lot of issues with just getting around and navigation and time management. So I spoke with Josh, our Mr. Unreal Dev,
Yeah.
who's our main level designer, and we both talked about it, and we had a meeting, and he had some ideas on how to maybe open it up a little more and make it more vehicle friendly, and I think he did a pretty good job. I mean, it's not as fortified, so you don't feel as safe as when you're inside. But I think the upside, the advantage of being able to easily get in and then easily get out was a huge upside.
You know, it's still more fortified than most places because you can still find clusters of buildings and things that are not as easy to access as, say,
True.
an open
Yeah.
field. So it's still not bad. And, yeah, I agree. It's a much better place to visit, and I go there a lot more often now.
Yeah, it was always my favorite space. There was a pretty big apartment complex that we used to have in here. Unfortunately, the apartment complex wasn't as optimized as it could be, and for performance reasons, we decided to remove it. But we are planning on bringing that sucker back. I don't know if many people on here remember that guy, but
Do you miss it?
I do miss it. There is still one. We have a location
Isn't it
on the
like
north
right
side of
here?
the map called the Remnant.
Yeah, that's right.
There's one guy up there, and every now and then I get the itch to just go out there and loot. Unfortunately, if you don't have good luck, you won't get the circle on you.
Yeah.
So you will take some damage, but if you loot that apartment complex efficiently, you will come out of there fully equipped with your weapons, your consumables. Look at that!
We can go there. Do you guys want to go? I mean, we can hang out here with all these
It's
bros
probably
and-
too late now, but you should let's hit it next game.
Okay.
So people could see it, because it's actually one of my favorite prefabs. Unfortunately, we only have it in one area now, but Josh and I have been talking, and we want to bring it back. So we want to put it in at least maybe 3 or 4 other areas, because our map is pretty extensive, so we definitely have places for it to go.
Yeah.
We just want to make sure that when we bring it back in, we don't take a hit on performance. But it's totally my favorite place to loot.
No, why is it your favorite place to live? Do you have a specific?
I think it's because
Things you like about
it's
it?
so compact. So it spans. Number one, it's humongous. It spans. Let's see, four
four or 5 floors or something like that.
4 floors, 1
Like
parking
that.
garage, and a roof. And then it's double-sided, so you have one side of hotel rooms and then symmetrical other side of hotel rooms that give you just as much random loot. So it's very cool. If you can get to it in Remnant, which it will take you a while to get there, but once you get there, it's very simple and quick to loot. You just go down the halls, hit every room, get all your loot, and then you're pretty much all good.
Don't mind my creepy wink. I was doing Paul's walk.
No problem. I was gonna say is that because of its location right now,
I kind of just want to go. You want
You
me to
do?
wait? I mean,
all right. Well, you can go.
these guys aren't helping me. In fact, I stole Fat Kid's gas, so I think I'm gonna just go.
You have jet boosters, but I don't know. I mean, I guess the storm is. Yeah, you might.
I'm in there.
You
and
should be. Yeah,
we
you
don't
should
know
be
when
fine.
it'll change to. So
What I was
give it a
gonna
try.
say, Popsicle, was if you decide to go there, you better be. I think you have to have good gas management skills, and you really have to know how far. Hey,
Let's
we
scoot
got
over a little
Firefox
bit.
here. Yeah, come on in.
Did I unplug everything?
No, you're all set. Let me put that
I'll
in.
scoot over. a
Out from
little
under
more.
here real quick. I'm using the comfort of the couch to not have to crane my neck so much.
Yeah, it's fair.
Eddie was
I was just-
pontificating on Remnant.
But yeah, it's one of my favorite. Excuse me, it's one of my favorite places to loot. But like I said, you have to be conscious of your gas mileage. Basically, you should have a good idea as to how far you can travel in a full
if they
tank
kick
of gas
out.
in your vehicle. You have to manage your gas in the sense that you have to loot some of it, know how much you need, and most importantly, you have to be very conscious of the storm, because it's on such a northern part of the map, kind of far away from everything else and a little bit isolated, that if you're not paying attention, you will get caught in the storm. But if you are a pretty tactical player who's always paying attention to your stats and where your car's at, and if you've been doing this for a while, it could also have a lot of upside if you get really lucky with the stuff that's in there, because I think it is it is the asset in our game with the most loot in it.
Yeah.
It's got the most concentrated loot of any other asset in the game. So it's got a huge payoff to that risk-reward factor.
We're pretty much heading there right now, regardless of the danger.
Robert didn't listen to me. I
He's
told,
like,
I
wait
told
till the
him,
next
don't
game.
do
I'm
it. And he's like, nah, you've been talking about it too much. Now I want to go.
You're going to Shangri-La. You're not going to run it.
No, I'm just by way.
Okay.
Yeah, so another thing about the semi is it's beautiful that you'll get anywhere on the map, but you just also have to stick to roads. Because,
well, I mean, all that defense you saw, right? They took a lot of shots at me and didn't do much
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Oh, I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
sure.
don't
I'm
worry.
not sure I've blown up a semi-truck more than like once. Like they are really, really hard to take down.
So, despite all their attacks, I think I'm doing just fine. And
You are doing just fine. How's your gas? Remember we talked about
just
gas?
a little bit less.
Oh,
than
right here.
half.
Make
I
it,
should be
yeah,
okay.
there you go.
There it is.
There he is.
And you've been using jet
beautiful.
boosters. That's a long way to go.
Yeah.
And still be that good on fuel.
Did you get lucky?
Oh my
Not
gosh!
really. Not really.
Well, I got a minute 42.
But
Just
you
take
got
what I
a
can
minute.
get.
You got a minute.
You can loot the bottom floor,
Yeah.
That's true.
and then
Yeah,
you have
that's
those
probably
jet
right.
boosters.
Here's
that-
the new apartment complex.
It's
remnant.
only round 2. Look at how
Oh
massive this
yeah.
thing is.
Do you have a mask on?
If
Yes.
you find, you
Level
will
2
find a
now.
mask here, and you'll find plenty of healing. So you might be able to even loot this whole round, and take a little bit of risk, take some
What was it?
damage.
I need to go to the first floor at least.
Yep.
It's better than to
You probably, what I normally do is I clear my backpack before I go in there. So
Oh, into
I'll
the trunk,
drop
yeah.
everything in the trunk of my
That's a
truck.
good idea.
And then I'll run in and
Quick,
pick
check
up
it off.
everything freely.
Check it all off the balcony,
Check it out.
like an angry spouse.
Man, he may have talked this place up a little bit too much because so far.
Well, there's still some RNG, Robert.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. Let's see. None of
It's
the ammos,
actually-
I mean.
it's
None of the-
it's also a
true. Yeah,
really
that's great.
interesting place to have combat in. There's been a couple times, the storm doesn't push this far up north too often, but when it does, it's kind of interesting. It's pretty cool to kind of take position on the apartment complex and kind of watch the north side and the south side, and not a lot of people know, but also Josh put in a little secret road back there behind the that mountain up on the north side. You can sneak up on the apartment complex. It's also a nice little interesting piece.
I'm already hearing storm, and it's going to be here.
You should be
Pretty
fine.
soon.
You should be fine. Don't be afraid of the storm, Robert.
I do need that. I don't know why I grabbed it. Let's see.
Afraid of a little storm. Nerd.
There we go. That's
Oh,
something.
nice.
That's something.
Have you made any announcements yet, Robert?
No, we were waiting for you.
Ooh, I'm
We were
excited.
giving you the honor of being
Yeah.
present
yes.
during all of them. So we're like, oh, we'll just play a little bit first.
Okay.
Nice and casual.
Anyone want some announcements?
Well, let's wait till the match
No, I don't mean I'm going
ends.
to give them right now. I would just wonder if anyone cares. Does anyone care?
I hope
So
they're,
I'll
hope they're a
leave
little
right now.
interested.
Look at that, Robert. Robert is the storm. MG, what is it? Nitrod? Nitroid?
Nitroid.
There's an asymmetrical PvP mode. Somebody plays as the storm.
There you go. All right, now I am in the storm. Might as well take off, I guess, at this point. All right, let's run it down.
You are level 2 mass, dude. You're gonna eat
So,
that storm for breakfast.
I have a long ways to go, is all.
Yeah,
You,
do.
got jet boosters.
So,
though. Do you have a
little-
lot of fuel?
Well, now I do. Now that I've gotten into this.
Yeah, you got to feel him up
Location.
first. You got to feel him up.
Oh, you're not with your team at all.
No.
No, but he's safe. He's all right.
No one even knows I'm around.
It is a little hard to stick with your team without VoIP.
Come on.
I like that you can manage your trunk while you fuel.
It's helpful.
It's really helpful.
All right, let's see what we're doing.
Just drop everything on the ground and then go back in there. Oh wow!
I don't think he's planning on going.
You took quite a bit of damage. You took more than I thought you did.
Fix it now. Fix it now.
So
So
I have a question for you, Eddie.
yeah.
Does the rocket fuel?
Nope.
Whoa!
always do that.
Does the when you use your jet boosters?
Uh-huh.
Does it take the same amount of fuel per vehicle or the same proportion? Of fuel?
That is a really
Is
good
it
question.
percentage based or is it amount based?
That is a really good question. So,
He's like, I don't know the answer.
I have no idea.
so basically, the way it works is it takes up the same amount of fuel because it's all based on how much distance you're covering. However, each vehicle has a specific penalty when you press the jet boost button. I believe the motorbike has no penalty, and then the car has about a quarter or half gallon penalty every time you press the button. So you will lose a quarter of a gallon of gas. And then
like there's an initial penalty
there's an initial
for firing it off.
There's initial for firing it off, and then it
additional.
uses the additional gas of how much distance you've covered.
So can he fire off the rocket boosters? Like if a motorcycle and a semi-truck were traveling the same amount of time,
Sounds like a math question.
and they all fired it off at once, which one is going to run out of gas first? Well, I guess that's complicated because the semi-truck has more gas.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, let me rephrase.
The motorcycle and the semi-truck move at the same moment in the
remember,
same direction.
they also don't use gas at the same rate.
Yeah.
So
let me ask the question in a more simple way. Is
Okay.
the rocket booster more efficient to use on the semi-truck?
It is
less punitive?
It is less efficient to use on the
okay.
semi-truck. However, because the semi-truck can carry more gas and because it needs more speed than the other vehicles,
Right.
it's
more
more
worth it.
important to that vehicle.
Yeah.
It's totally worth it that you're being inefficient with the gas.
I mean, I can now see like he's already at half gas just from using that a few times.
Exactly. I believe that the semi with the jet boost on the semi, because there's also a cooldown on the jet boost, and then there's a duration on how long it lasts when you press the button. The semi has the longest lasting jet boost of all the vehicles. So like the bike is kind of a short burst, but it refreshes quickly. The car's kind of in between. With the semi, you kind of have to really manage your jet boost and use it when you need it, not just like constantly press the button, because you're going to get one long one, but you won't get them very often. And it's going to cost you a lot of gas.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
I've had scenarios where I have the jet boosters and my truck, and I get shot like a couple times, and I use the jet boost to get away. But immediately once the jet boost is done, I hit a hill that now I need to jet boost off of.
Yeah.
But the refresh time on these jet boosts is pretty long. You gotta really time how you use it, otherwise you'll get, for lack of a better term, screwed.
Yeah, that's a pretty good term. It's the job done.
All right, we're already on our way to the next
Also,
circle.
little fun fact here, Robert. If you hit tab and right-click the consumable, you can heal while driving.
Oh. I
So
didn't know
if
that.
you've taken some damage from people that have been shooting at your car, you can always tab and right-click whatever consumable you'd like, and you will take it. There are no more restrictions on taking consumables.
And I believe it's in our backlog to fix that so it works with Q as well.
Okay, that's what I was going to follow up with.
So we'd like to make it so
that
it
is
works.
a known issue.
That is a known issue, correct? Yeah.
All right, Leon, I know you're behind me.
I
Stop
haven't
honking.
seen any of our normal players like Major or Mario or anyone get
Maybe they're
killed
too
yet.
busy
Like not a lot of people
watching.
have died yet,
Yeah,
right?
I guess we're all losing
Well, it's
right
because
now.
these are pretty extreme storms, so they're kind of sending.
They
people
are.
Yeah,
That's
you notice
a
we
good
were
point.
at Remnant, now we're at
That is
Warmonger
true.
Compound.
That is
Kind of
true.
sending people all over the place.
That's a good point. These are pretty extreme storms.
I mean, we didn't have to go that far, but...
Oh!
what happened?
Cosmo.
Cosmo
What'd
is
you do,
always the
Cosmo?
first one dying. All the time.
I don't think I can go back
And
to
I'm
that.
going to say that right now because I know he's
Oh.
not watching, but I say you just leave him behind.
No
Just
one's going on that
Don't
rescue.
go back. No. You know what, Cosmo?
I can see right now no one's going on a rescue mission for Cosmo.
Don't go back for Cosmo,
No
Robert.
one's
Just
turning
let him
around.
die.
Oh, but
He deserves
he's not
it.
getting shot
No,
at
I'm
more.
just messing. Go
You
ahead.
are in the
Get him.
worst car. Ooh, wait.
Oh,
somebody's
wait,
coming.
yeah, I see
Somebody's
someone.
coming.
How did he die then?
Somebody shot him, I'm sure. Or he
No,
fell.
I think he crashed because he was in his own vehicle. But you guys still forgot about Cosmo. Cosmo's still
Yeah,
down.
he's gonna die. He's so far. If no one's gone
Is
by
he?
now,
I don't know where he's at.
he said
He's
there's
He's
no
in the
time.
storm. That's not good.
He's pretty close.
Oh, maybe he knocked himself out in the storm.
I'm pretty sure he crashed into something, Because he always rides the bike. Oh, look like.
Well, the storm is heading
looks like
back that way.
Brazilian is,
Oh, I see it. I
is
see
he
a truck
going
up there,
for
though. I see a truck.
Are you guys saving Private Ryan or not?
It looks like Brazilian's gonna go for it.
I
don't
And
think
I
he
see a
should
car
have
over
been.
here.
No, I don't think.
And a motorcycle.
Oh shit!
Uh,
Are you gonna take him on by yourself? Okay.
That's a whole team, Robert.
Yeah, I was just spotting them.
You're like, oh no, definitely wasn't about to do that.
You
Let's
can
consider
make
it when I saw just a
I
couple
played
vehicles.
with you before, and I know you were about to do that. I'm 100% sure you were
Oh,
about
I
to
think-
do that.
Is Cosmo still dying, or did?
I'm gonna head
or
down
did
this way.
Brazilian get him?
No, he's definitely still dying. His health's going down.
yeah,
Again,
that's
because
true.
I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
a
I
truck
think
up there. I'm
Brazil.
not
I
sure
think
there's a
Brazilian's
chance.
ignoring him.
Oh, fat kid's
Oh,
about to
Oh,
die.
fat kid, you just. Oh no.
See, this is why I play by myself. This
You
whole
are-
match, I've been fine.
You are a terrible teammate,
Oh,
Robert.
you're a pretty bad
Absolutely
teammate.
terrible. You're
Now, to
not
be-
backing up.
now, to be
Just
oh,
fair-
now Brazilian is dying.
Now, to be fair, this is the apocalypse, and teamwork is kind of not in everyone's
There's,
best.
I mean, there's a lot of people at stake here, and
You
I'm
know
not
you
seeing.
need them to win the game, Robert. You know that, right?
I don't know. You know, maybe I
I
don't.
don't
Maybe
know. Maybe I don't. Well, you better at least go help Brazilian, because he's your last hope.
He is your last hope.
Or Fat Kid.
Or
Actually,
fat, yeah.
Fat Kid.
Oh,
Fat
fat
Kid's
kid
okay.
kind of
they're
healed up a
recovering now.
little.
Okay.
Yeah. Brazilian's probably in the thick of it.
Fat Kid's a
Is he
pragmatic
running?
player.
Why doesn't he have his car? At least Fat Kid healed. I don't know
Maybe
what
they shoot
I don't know
that
what
though.
Brazilian is doing.
He's got moonshine. I mean, he's.
oh,
healing.
he's attacking.
Do you
that.
not have the nail gun? I thought
Oh,
you
there's a
had
guy.
it. Do you have a nail gun?
I do have a
They're
nail gun.
shooting very
Nail
near
gun,
you.
nail gun that shit.
They're shooting very near you. Oh, did you see that,
Ooh,
Robert?
yeah.
Wait, there's
Someone's
something
That was a
right.
Dragonov.
Someone's sniping you.
Where?
Don't know.
I don't know, but the
I
bullet
bel-
whizzed by you.
Yeah.
Brazilian's throwing a sparkler bomb, so he's on the case.
He's taking the Eddie route.
There it is. Sparkler's gonna solve the problem. Oh, there's another truck up there. See that?
I thought that was
no.
Cosmos.
Nope. No,
Might
I don't
be
think so.
Cosmos?
Cosmo.
Because it's been there for the whole
Cosmo's
time.
Cosmo rides motorcycles.
I'm just saying it's been here a long time.
Cosmo rides motorcycles.
Oh, also, you'd be able to
also,
tell.
Cosmo's in the storm. You see that?
You're right. You're right about that part. But
There's definitely an enemy.
someone's still shooting at me. I'm not sure whether. Oh!
Yeah,
There they
right?
are.
I told you, definitely an enemy near you.
Oh, he's behind that rock.
Straight. Keep straight.
I tried.
Oh, jeez.
He was. Wait.
Oh,
Oh, that was
Cracks!
a lot closer than I
Cracks
thought.
killed you. Cracks is stream
Ah.
sniping you. Cracks, stream sniper. This is BS, man. You better get
okay.
out of here.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Let me
All right,
out.
man. It's okay. Take the loss. I was surprised though. I couldn't tell where he was coming from. I knew it was somewhere down there, but
I'm glad to start seeing some of these people unlock some of the other Season 2 items. Like, I hadn't seen the Blue Flame car
yeah,
on anyone yet.
it's nice to have.
Mario was mentioning he showed a screenshot of his semi.
Oh yeah.
He's like, my semi's confused because it had like a pirate back,
Yeah,
rear,
right.
and then it was like fire truck, and then it was like the top of the lights was like some skull lights, and
I mean,
he's like,
you know.
I don't know what I'm going with here. He's like,
There's a hodgepodge kind of name of the game going on.
Yeah, that's the thing with the apocalypse. Actually, some of our artists early on were like, well, you know, none of this stuff's going to match if people put it on. I'm like, that's the point.
Yeah. They take what they can.
You get what you can get. You find a fire truck and you throw a pirate buggy.
That's right.
You know? Ooh, uh-oh.
Oh,
Leon's
smart.
sticking in the broken
Oh,
rock.
what a cheater.
Exploits.
Ah, cheater Brazilian.
In Brazilian, you're showing
That's-
this off on our
Yeah,
live stream.
nice job,
He's
buddy.
He's like, oh, no one's fine.
Nice job, art director. Looking
No,
through
he's-
rocks.
Well, he thinks he get. Oh, wait.
Oh, that was nice.
I'll flip back around. That wasn't too far.
That was Major. Major killed.
Oh, there's like 3
Oh,
semis
he can
down
take
there. This is like a
them.
semi
Wow.
party today. A lot of people using this.
Is that gonna flip?
Oh, it did.
Oh no! Oh, the same
He left
guy.
himself open.
The same guy.
Ah.
Yeah.
Back
This
his
back
little
kid- back
overhand.
kid's in trouble.
He
Yeah,
just
yeah.
ate it.
That was Bean.
Oh, Mario Madness is down on this plane.
Oh, Mario Madness is on his team. Is he gonna get him?
Yeah.
Oh, looks like. Oh, nice.
Look at that's teamwork. You
That's-
see that?
yeah,
You
that
see what
is
that looks
teamwork.
like?
I'm unfamiliar. I'm not sure what's going on. Why isn't he just running away?
Ooh, nice shot. So, out of all the guns, which one's your favorite, Robert?
I still think it's probably the AR. Starog.
The Starog.
For the longest time, it was the SMG. I was really enjoying the SMG, but it was just not delivering on the power that I needed. And at first I couldn't deal with a lot of the kick that was getting from the Starog.
Yeah.
But then, I just got used to it a little bit better, and now I just enjoy it a lot more.
So you always go your Starog plus your like sniper or shotgun?
Yeah, not always. It's usually what I run into first, and then I'll start kind of like thinking like, well, what's the good complement to this? What can I take forward? If I find a shotgun first, I'll grab the shotgun immediately. Try to make good use of it. But if I find a good short-range weapon and a good long-range weapon, I'll just replace the shotgun with it. But not if, again, depending on if I find like all the attachments of the shotgun, I kind of feel reluctant to toss it away, and so I'm like, yeah, maybe I can hold on to this. And
yeah, I definitely make decisions based on if I find some really good attachments early on.
Do you have a favorite loadout as well, Farren? One that you generally tend to land in?
Yeah, so my two loadouts I tend to go with as either I go with the Hellfire plus Hunter, because then I have like kind of close range and kind of far range, but I'm a terrible sniper, but I can deal with the Hunter. Or I really like the Remedy. It's a situational weapon, so I don't take it unless I also have the Strog to make up for it.
Yeah.
But the Remedy, if I get the surgical muzzle and I get the drum mag, then I fucking love that thing. And what I'll do, because I tend to ride with a bike, is I'll just drive right up on someone, pop off the bike, and try to hit them.
You took like a whole squad out yesterday. With
that was just because I was being a troll and sneaking up on people.
That
does tend to be more my play style. Is I'd rather find a tactical way to like wait till two teams. Because yesterday what I did is I waited till you and another team were fighting each other. Robert and I were on a team by ourselves, so we were already completely at a disadvantage. And we waited till y'all were in a firefight, and I knew we could just run right up on you without being hurt.
that was a good tactic.
I got you down that way, but
I killed Bernie, I killed Bernie that way. So I'm just saying.
That's a big achievement in this studio.
I downed Bernie, and you.
But I think the reason I like the Hellfire is there's a lot of good attachments for it that are not super hard to find. So like I'll tend to find the grip. I'll tend to find at least one decent muzzle. I'll tend to find extended mag without too much trouble.
Nice.
And they're fairly common, and their ammo is fairly common. So like, I think it's the most trusty weapon for me. I'm disappointed that I'm not a good sniper because the 8x scope, the Eagle Eye scope, is literally the coolest looking attachment in the game.
It is great.
And every time I see it, I want to pick it up real bad, but I'm like, I can't wait till...
It's also a legendary item, so
it is, exactly.
It hurts to not pick it up,
It hurts to not pick it up, but I'm like, but if I pick this up, I'm just going to disappoint people with terrible sniping skills, so...
That's just the thing, too, is that I'm also a terrible sniper, and I think most people are terrible snipers, but the only way to get better is to keep practicing at it. So I'm grabbing them all the time.
I think most people are not great snipers, but I think I'm a terrible sniper.
I can vouch for that.
I like the Hunter, but the Hunter, if you don't take some compensation attachments, the kick on that thing is so brutal.
Especially when you're trying to counter.
You kind of need the spiked grip and the combat muscle.
Once you get a couple of those, you can compensate for it pretty good, but without those, it's also pretty useless.
I like that it allows me to miss too, because the thing about the Dragunov is it's powerful, but when I miss, it's so frustrating because you feel like you've lost an opportunity to do some pretty damage. But the Hunter allows you to kind of pop off a few shots if you're not that great at sniping, which I'm also not that great of a sniper.
I was saying earlier, if I pick up the first weapon, that usually defines what I'm going to take up my loadout going forward. But the big notable exception is if I find an LMG at any point, I will probably ditch whatever I have to pick it up. Even if I can't find grips or anything for it, I'm just going to look and look and look.
It's so tempting, but what I find is it's hard to figure out what to replace because it's also so situational. It's great anti-vehicle, but if you replace like your Strog, then you're pretty screwed if you're ever in like a mid-range battle.
No, that's very true.
If you replace your long range, so like it's always a hard one for me, and I also always find it late match. So then I'm also like, do I drop all this weapon with all these awesome attachments just for like a bare LMG? Because there's no way that I've picked up LMG attachments and ported those.
People keep telling me that's what they do all the time, just in case they're on
I
LMG.
do
That's
that.
why this guy
How?
rides the
I-
semi-truck. I'm not surprised the
hoard
semi-truck's your favorite weapon because you are the biggest hoarder in the fucking world. So of course you need like
Okay, I
vehicle-
love to hoard. Yes,
Yeah,
that's true.
you are a hoarder.
And I'm constantly
I'm
picking
gonna
up
put you on
LMG
one of those
parts.
hoarder reality shows.
Got him.
But
Took long enough
but
for
the
you.
other thing about
You know the
the other thing about finding the LMG that kind of throws me off my game that not a lot of people think about is because it uses so much heavyweight. Whatever you want to replace with it, you want to make
Better not
sure
have heavyweight,
better
yeah.
not. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because
It's not
otherwise,
reaping your heavyweight.
if you drop,
Dash.
say your Starog and you keep your LMG and your sniper, then they're both sharing heavyweight, and the LMG is just going to eat it all up.
Right.
So that's another thing that makes it a kind of a tough decision when you find it.
So we got Bean and Mario Madness team up, and they're pretty stiff competition against these guys. They already spotted both their locations. One behind the rocks. There's another guy running through the storm of this area.
There's 6 people. So they're up against 4 people.
I can't tell if they're up against 4. They've seen 2. One was heading
So
from that
that's
direction.
maybe 2 different teams of 2 or something like
Maybe.
I haven't been paying attention to the Trog announcements.
that. Oh, Bernie. Oh, that was Bernie. All right, Mario, you better watch out. It's Bernie.
Bernie counts as 2.
Bernie counts as 2. If you kill Bernie, I have newfound respect for you. Oh,
Someone spotted somebody.
where's that happening? I don't know what's going on. Something's going on. Bernie
Bernie
killed
killed
Machine.
2.
Oh, he killed
Machine
2
and Durian.
people.
I heard Michelle.
So
I heard
it's
Michelle yell.
all right. It's Bernie versus them too. They can double team Bernie, and probably if they play this smart, they can take him out.
I think it's pretty funny around our office. You can always tell when a playtest is going on from the random shouts,
Like, no.
cussing.
What?
Oh, this is where it gets exciting here.
We still got to make that Eddie T-shirt for.
Did Mario go down? I didn't see it.
No, he's just still going around.
Oh,
Nice, they did it.
Nice job.
Good job, guys.
Wow.
All right.
Poor Bernie. He was out in the open. He must have seen Mario or someone, one of the other guys.
Good games, guys.
All right.
Hey, GG's.
GG's.
We are, I think, now ready to get in a little more of a discussion of the kind of things that we're going to be talking about for the future of this game.
All right.
But first,
excited.
again, just a little bit before we get in front of that, we have a couple other things to talk about. A couple promotions we have going on. We had mentioned before we have this event stream weekend going with Joey Bear Saturday morning, and a free weekend is associated with that. So let's show that image if I can find it somewhere.
Is it free weekend?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
I was like,
Thank you for correcting me.
Double
Double XP weekend.
Double XP weekend.
XP weekend. All right, where were we? Let's see. It's not. It's
Free
not.
XP.
There you go.
You meant free XP, right?
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. There we go. Double XP weekend,
Nice.
November 30th to December 1st. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. A good opportunity to clean up on some of your season 2 vanity that you've been itching to get. I know there's the tattoo I think starts in level 30s.
I want the Inceptor horn for my freaking semi.
Of course.
Yeah,
I
there's
want
that too.
that so bad.
Yeah, work hard to get it. So yeah,
Wow.
that double XP weekend should help you out, and it's just in time for Yogi Bear's stream, which we talked about in Discord already. We'll share it again in social, and we'll make sure you guys are all aware with that. So please come jump in her stream. She's also giving away keys. We gave her a new shipment of keys, so if you have any friends who've been wanting to play
weekend. So
Fractured
it's
Lands,
a weekend where you can get the game for free from her.
exactly,
See?
exactly.
You don't make mistakes, Robert.
No, not at all. I haven't made one in my life. All right, so yeah, double XP weekend. That's one thing you can look forward to, and then we have another announcement. Farren helped me put this together with a little thing she put together on a website recently.
Well, yeah, so...
That is our Fractured's Ugly Sweater Contest, so to speak.
I think we
That's
should...
pretty awesome.
I think that we should call out or hat tip Sir John Cheese for this idea.
Definitely.
Nice.
Definitely.
Sir
last
John
Dev
Cheese.
Day.
Thank you, Mr. Cheese.
So Mr.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Cheese, well, Sir Cheese, excuse me.
Sir Cheese.
He's
Nope,
been
yeah.
knighted.
Yeah, you need to give him his due.
Respect the knighting.
Obviously.
So yeah, I mean, so we were kind of chatting about what holiday items would you all want to see. He brought up the ugly holiday sweater. I thought it was a great
Genius
idea, and I
Genius.
thought this might be a good opportunity to get some some additional ideas from the community. Obviously, like the sky's kind of the limit of like what crazy post-apocalyptic things you could think of putting on an ugly holiday sweater. So what we're going to be doing is, unfortunately, we only have about a week because we need to make sure that we can actually make it in time for holiday enjoyment.
Yes. We have to narrow that window.
So we
down,
got to narrow that window, but also, we will basically, take inspiration from the sweater or sweaters we like the most, and we will be interpreting them and putting them into the game for you guys, and details to come on how it will be earned, whether or not we're just going to kind of give it to everybody, or whether or not we're going to create some sort of earning.
Good chance that if you're a storm rider, you're going to be able to get one pretty easily.
That sounds legit. I think definitely that makes sense.
Yeah.
And there will likely be a couple other holiday items as well.
Nice.
But we.
That I don't know about. See, even surprises to me.
I
Wow.
said likely.
I did not know
I said likely. There'll likely be a couple other holiday items.
I like shooting surprises with these things.
But this one, everybody who's seen this concept around the office is really digging it. So.
Okay.
So submit.
Nice.
So yeah.
And also don't be intimidated if you are not a great artist, because again, we're going to take inspiration. I think Robert could share out the website that I threw this together on.
Easily.
So like if you have a great idea but your art skills are not great, you can always submit the ideas just in written form, or you could always run it through a little Photoshop filter, or whatever. We have talented artists that can interpret your concepts.
Yeah, so send us what you can. Don't hesitate to give us an idea one way or another, and we'll hopefully be able to see it in games of some form.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's a
happy
little
holidays.
hot in the apocalypse for a sweater, I just want to say. But
I wonder if they're gonna be like phrase. I mean,
it's,
is it gonna get snagged on something? There's a lot of pointy objects in this world.
There are, exactly. Yeah.
It's gonna be like a brand new sweater, like you just got it, or has it been worn a few
Tags hanging
years?
off it.
I mean, most of our stuff usually looks a little worn.
Okay.
Much to your chagrin. I know you like the spiffy items, but everything's gone through some shit in our world.
Okay.
Also, so John Cheese is immediately on the design and also doing another Discord photo.
Of
which,
course.
I think you should prioritize the Discord photo because those are my favorite.
What do you think he'll do next? What's the next movie that hasn't been touched from the 80s?
I don't know.
That needs
I haven't
either my
seen,
face or
I don't know
Eddie's
if I've
face or
missed.
any other member.
Have I missed anything since RoboPop?
We did. I'm going to show you real quick. We did a quick slideshow of all the different images that he had put together for us. Yeah, I posed for that one naturally.
Yeah, of course. How else would he have got your body so perfectly?
Of course, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's still my favorite RoboPop. I still love. So of course, nicely done. There's a few others in there.
He did one with Joshua.
You've seen this one before? Yeah. Well, that was the Thanksgiving one. Which
This one you really nailed Eddie's hair. Spot on.
That is legit.
Oh, there you go. There you
I
go.
love that one.
That one just kind of
It's a
looks
good
like
promo
you.
poster,
That
yeah.
one's just kind of. It's kind of the face
The
you're
dudes
always
in were like
making all
a
the time.
wily little white guy.
Oh, I hadn't seen this one. That one's pretty good. Looney Tunes ones is pretty good.
It's my fault for really just putting so many
This
photos of
one's
myself
great.
on the internet.
I like how
one's
Josh
great.
made a guest appearance
Yeah.
on this one.
Good job, Unreal Dev. And of course, you
The
see
scooter-
my scooter in
the
use.
scooter of his choice.
When's that going to be a vehicle in the game? Not just any scooter. My
That
scooter?
Yeah, your scooter. Wow. It's a little much for a joke. It's a little expensive for a joke. But we'll see what we can do, Robert.
And of
That
course,
is
that is
that's the
perfection.
one that haunts my dreams.
Don't think
Wow.
you could be
the one that
improved
haunts
upon
my
one?
It haunts my dreams too, actually.
I don't know about haunting. Maybe graces, All right. So let's get back to our announcements. It's enough
Yes.
fun photos. Like we said, Double XP Weekend, our ugly sweater submissions. And then we have one other big set of announcements we really have to talk about, and that is the future of Fractured Lands, which we put together in a once animated but no longer still image.
Yes, yeah, I told you. Too close to the sun there, buddy.
Pretty much our journey to Wasteland 1.0. So this is a great opportunity for both Eddie and Farren, and I'll help you guys lead this discussion a little bit about the different kind of things that we're planning on implementing into the game.
All right. I'm gonna be real careful, and you especially. We're gonna be real careful here.
I'm gonna
We
let
don't
you
wanna-
take. I'm gonna let
we
you
don't
take the
wanna
lead on this
give
one,
away
and I'll
too
just
much.
interject every now
Okay.
and then because I don't want to.
We're careful on the wording here because we don't want to overpromise things we'd like to do. But
Well, we don't want to make promises we can't keep, but we also want to, leave some things to the imagination.
Sure.
And we definitely want to. We're excited to kind of give you guys more detail about some of this stuff as it comes. But yeah, so this is our roadmap. Basically, we're working hard in the studio on the future of Fractured Lands, and we basically have broken it down into phases because development is a tricky mistress, and things tend to change a lot. Things tend to move around, and while we're working very hard on all of these aspects, we also have to support a live game. We also have to make sure that we're getting you guys good updates, bug fixes, optimization, everything like that. So we kind of broke this down into 3 phases. The first thing that you guys are going to see in the near future is going to be even more game modes. So one thing I've always said to the press, to the community, internally, is that Battle Royale is a game mode. Battle Royale is not a game. It does not have to put us in a box.
Right.
It was a great way to start Fractured Lands because, Battle Royale definitely captures the spirit of living in the wasteland, surviving by the skin of your teeth. We knew that the vehicles were going to be a really interesting and awesome addition to that. But we've always intended to go beyond Battle Royale. We've been very excited to get to that. Mode-wise, we definitely first wanted to make sure we supported teams. Everyone's enjoying that. That's great. That's been great. But obviously, as you guys know, it's not always easy to get a full Battle Royale game going. We thought that it would be fun to start exploring other ways to play, many of which don't require quite as high of player counts,
Right.
So that we can get you guys into the action a little bit easier, and things like that. Let's see. Before I keep rambling, let's see.
You can follow any one of our points that we've laid out here. That's so nice.
Well, no, I'm also looking at the comments as well.
Okay,
so,
yeah. If you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to post them here. We'll try to get
Yeah.
to them and answer what we can, of course.
Yeah, Mario's saying, lots of the other games definitely test out the waters with other game modes. And I agree. And I think, some of our competitors and other games across this genre are better at it than others. And I think that it's always a really fun way to keep things fresh. I think that most of those other games have all still been staying very closely in the realm of Battle Royale in terms of elimination style modes. We are kind of planning on possibly getting even further outside of that, and just the criteria being fun ways to murder each other, however those may be. So I'm not yet going to announce exactly the next mode you guys are going to see, but just know that again, we're focusing on smaller player counts, faster action, also exploring some of the areas of Fractured Lands that Battle Royale doesn't necessarily take you to. So Eddie was mentioning, when you guys were talking about Remnant, the storm can sometimes make that a less visited spot. So I think one of the other exciting things about other game modes is we are planning on localizing some of those game modes to specific parts of the map, so that we can kind of both flesh those areas out more and then also give you guys a cool new experience to play in those areas. Of course, we're going to focus on traditional gunplay, but also, being that it's Fractured Lands, a lot of these modes that we're looking at and developing are based around vehicles as well. So I know that there was already some streamers who've been starting to play, their own demolition derbies. I know
we
that,
saw that in the last free weekend, and the one before that too.
I know that people like to kind of race each other around in the pregame matches. So we're going to kind of take inspiration from those experiences, and there's one I'm very itching to talk about, and I'm really excited to talk about. But we will follow up if you guys hang in there, keep following our dev weekends. You'll hear it here first.
Yeah, keep in mind, this is the first time we're talking about what like you guys laid out. This is basically a roadmap for our take to 1.0. We're still in early access. We still have a lot of things to implement, but this is our journey to get to that point. And this is just the first time we're talking about it. And we'll have other opportunities coming soon as we add more content and have more things to reveal, that we can talk to you guys about this. And you can help us shape along the way what sounds good, what doesn't sound good, what you'd rather see, if our focus is too far
Absolutely.
one way or another, and
Absolutely.
just give us your ideas.
We fully plan on supporting what the community ends up sticking to. So, yeah, as Robert said, if we start seeing that people are really enjoying one way to play, another way to play, we will continue to explore that. So, really, really excited about that. But of course, things happen in parallel. So while our team is both supporting the live service, we're definitely working on some modes. We're also working on something really big that I'm super, super excited
Okay,
about.
let me slow your roll,
Okay.
because I want to say for sure,
Uh-huh.
as a roadmap structure,
Yeah.
let's let them know. Of course, this is coming out. Hopefully, this first
Yeah, of
phase
course.
around springtime is what we're looking to do. So we're,
Yeah, well,
we're hoping
and-
to narrow it in that
yeah.
area,
And that-
so
well,
you
and
guys
that-
can look forward to it then.
Absolutely, and that's when you'll start to see it. So that will be a
Right.
continued effort as soon as that'll be the next thing that you'll see from us on the kind of big front aside from our regular patches and updates. That's the next big thing you'll see from us, but then you will also continue to see that moving forward as well.
Okay.
I also want to emphasize that. So, yeah, and then phase 2, I'll probably try to be even more vague with that. But that's definitely we've obviously had our kind of session-based PvP experiences. We love them, but we've built this whole giant world. We have all of these awesome weapons and items and ways to play around that world, and we want to go even deeper into exploring that world. We want to go even deeper into the things that you can do in that world. So from there, I'll kind of just leave it to what the bullet points are. We're going to be supporting something with persistent progression, sandbox mode that will have some PvE elements to it. Possibly more than we should say right now. Anyway, I struggled with that a little bit, but definitely would be curious to hear some of you guys' questions and thoughts and ideas around that, even just in its vague form.
I mean, in terms of what the community has heard about or played or been, seeing as we develop Fractured Lands, this is absolutely a new direction and something that some people had initially brought up and asked for when we first announced the game, saying, "Oh, we'd really like to see this kind of game that you're creating in a broader space, in maybe some solo components, that kind of thing. What would you end up doing with that?" So yeah, I'm sure you guys have lots of questions about that. So feel free to ask us now, or if you are just kind of ruminating on everything we're saying, feel free to ask us in social and Discord. We'll be happy to talk about whatever we can, and then reveal a little bit more as we go along, or step by step, and show you more things. So yeah.
Awesome, yeah, and and of course, beyond that, you can just definitely, and some of these overlap across each other a little bit, but definitely, there's also some future plans for a complete overhaul of some of the vanity reward systems. There's definitely additional ideas kind of going beyond even what we're talking about here, of additional ways to kind of utilize some of that PvE that we're building, and obviously lots more ideas around customizing your vehicles and your players and everything like that. So, the closer we get to each one of these periods of time, the more we will share, more specific details on that roadmap. But yes, I'm with Robert. If you guys have questions right now, I will see what I feel comfortable answering. It's hard not to talk about it, so definitely, I'll definitely do what I can to kind of answer questions. But also, I'll do that really obnoxious thing where I'll also kind of ask you guys back.
Would you like to see that?
What would you like to see?
Yeah.
Because I always like that. That's what got everybody Christmas sweaters. So,
I just noticed on Discord they said we have about 30 people in tribes right now, so there might be a few lingering questions that come after people are done murdering each other. That's fair. Just as a heads up.
That's fair. You can't really do both of those things at the same time.
Okay,
Cool.
and that's slated for approximately summertime. We might see some of those things come to light and featured in playable state. That's what we're hoping for. But of course, we'll update you as things move along and as our development starts materializing in different ways.
And of course, Robert will keep everyone abreast with if there's opportunities for certain people to experience some of these things early, or anything like that. So.
As you guys know, we often do tests for internal content and let people see different things. We keep our alarms on and our phones on, and sorry about that, Eddie. But yeah, we will of course share this information and opportunities to try new stuff, because it's one of the things that we love doing is giving you guys things to check and test and give us your feedback before we show it to everyone else. Okay, and then Phase 3, Road to 1.0 with some extra stuff too.
Yep.
Fall 2019 and beyond.
Extra stuff.
Extra
I can
stuff.
I can
For the
guarantee,
most part,
I can guarantee extra stuff.
extra stuff. Eddie, you have any thought? I brought this up. I brought you here so you could speak to this. Don't be too afraid.
No. Farron's doing a great job, so I'm not gonna interject when she's kind of knocking it out of the park. But finishing. See it on home. See it on home.
What do you mean?
Phase 3.
Well, no, I kind of mentioned that. Like I said, it's kind of just expanding on some of the other stuff we've talked about. So, additional PvE content. I mentioned overhauling the vanity reward system, things like that. So, I'm excited about all of this. I'm, working very, very hard to help the team manage. Again, it's not the biggest team in the entire world, and we're definitely supporting a live game and trying to make sure that Fractured Lands kind of becomes something bigger. So bear with us as we support both. Definitely, ask your questions and give your suggestions, and definitely keep letting us know the biggest things for that you guys are experiencing in terms of like patch level desires, like bugs that need fixing and things that need tuning and everything, because we are obviously also continuing to support all of that as well.
Yeah, worry not. That's not going to be forgotten.
It will definitely not be forgotten.
So
It will definitely not
Mario
be
does ask a question. He said, "What are we going to be crafting?" He asked about Phase 2.
What gets me is Phase 2. What are we going to be crafting?
Yeah.
Gets me wondering.
Gets him wondering.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Continue to wonder.
That's a good question. Let me think if there's any like vague riddly way I can answer that. Well, actually, let me kind of ask you, like, what would you want to be crafting in this world?
Because there's plenty of crafting in lots of different games, but they vary depending on what you are getting out of it. If it's just like a simple thing you're doing on the fly, or if it's something you have to prepare for in advance. Is it related to the car? Is it related to yourself? Is it related to weapons, or is it a survival mechanic like food or drinking water? That's a good question to ask. Is like, where is this going to go?
All great questions to ask. I think one kind of vague way I'll answer it is if you kind of look at all of the stuff across Fractured Lands, everything in a post-apocalyptic world is obviously very hodgepodge, right? Mm-hmm. So it's fun to be able to kind of just like find a lot of this stuff and pick it up. But from the beginning, a lot of people have been asking us like, hey, could I maybe craft some of this stuff? So, so there's plenty of possibilities of what you'll be crafting.
I mean, I'm hoping, especially this, given all the aesthetics we have on our both vehicles and the vehicle upgrades and the weapons and the weapon upgrades, that the signature style of whatever gets crafted will also match that aesthetic, and everything will look very post-apocalyptic. It'll look, even though it's not just hodgepodge because it's crafted, but hodgepodge because it's Fractured Lands.
Yeah, well, it will and always will be Fractured Lands stuff. So I know exactly what you'll be crafting. so don't worry there. But I really dislike crafting in games. Make what's supposed to be fun, like the daily grind, work. No, so what we definitely don't want to do is we're not adding this as a grindy system. Right. We want to add this as a mode. We're also, the one thing I can be clear on is that this isn't something that changes all the other modes. So you'll still be able to experience Battle Royale the way that you're playing Battle Royale. You'll still be able to experience any of these other game modes that we're supporting the way. Now, if there are some fun aspects of some of the sandbox stuff, maybe they'll find their way into some of the other modes. There's nothing saying they can't. But no, the whole game is not going to become a crafting game. This is something that you will opt in and choose to experience if you want to experience it. So, and of course, we like fun. I personally like fun. I pretty much and I agree that some of them can tend to be very, very grindy, and that's not the intention here at all. We want to get, let's just say it will definitely serve to support the things that you already like doing in the game. It will just, it will be a way to experience it in a new way, if that makes sense.
What about in the sense of like tension builders? How kind of like a battle royale in general is one of its hallmarks is that it builds tension. Does crafting work in that regard, or is it like with the right materials you'll get out of a tense situation, and maybe without it you're maybe feeling some of that exhilaration before you're free, or how do you think that might work?
Yeah, sure, you could say that.
Okay.
You could say that. I mean, again, yeah, like well, let me answer that this way. We part of the goal of Fractured Lands is always to kind of deliver that sense of tension that the post-apocalypse brings,
Okay.
right? So like this is never a safe world. This is never a world where you sit around and craft 100 fishing poles. Like this is definitely an unsafe world where things are always trying to kill you.
What kind of fish would you catch?
I,
Is it fishing?
I don't know.
Try to wonder
Go
that,
try
you know.
fishing in the oil
There you
lakes
go,
and see
right?
what comes out. No, I mean definitely the focus of Fractured Lands is always a sense of danger and always a sense of something trying to kill you, and frankly always a sense of competing with your fellow man for resources.
Okay. Eddie, anything you want to add to the?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, it's kind of exciting to have an ambitious plan like this, because, like Farren said, we're a small team, but at the same time, we want to show everyone that, like, we love Fractured Lands, we believe in Fractured Lands. I know some people were concerned about the future of Fractured Lands, but we're here to say that, like, hey, we're here to stay and we're doubling down. Like, we're gonna
Definitely doubling down.
we're giving you more game than what you expected when you bought this game on Steam.
Yeah.
And like Farren emphasized, we're not taking away Battle Royale. It's still a mode that will most definitely exist. We're just going to add another huge part to the game that you can also enjoy by yourself or with your friends.
So our Steam forums can get a little biting sometimes. We got plenty of people who drop in and out depending on their perspective of the game, if they just picked it up or they haven't even bought it yet and they're just asking questions. And one of those continued themes is really, really, really they would like to see something that allows them to enjoy the game either they bought or are looking to buy without having to worry about
rely on other players.
Yeah, a whole lot of players.
That is another thing that I can definitively say is one of the goals of this experience. That it will be scalable, but it's definitely something for both phase 1 and phase 2. It's definitely keeping an eye on that issue of, hey, sure, you continue to want to play these battle royale matches. Maybe even like you want to wait and see and watch them balloon up even more. To larger numbers of players. Let's give you something compelling and interesting to do in the meantime, and that's why we added things like queuing up. With the play again button. That's why we gave you things like,
Pre-game lobby.
the pregame lobby. But, obviously people ask for more things to do in the pregame lobby. Phase 1 and phase 2, especially phase 2, are kind of meant to
Expand
to expand the hell out of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because why drive around with the timer on when you could be doing something a lot more compelling while you're waiting for your other modes to start?
We don't play in our battle royale mode and think like, oh, it's really lacking some major missing element. We play around in the waiting to get into the battle royale mode, going, oh, that really could this expand.
Yeah.
So I think phase 2 enemy AI should be in phase 1 to get more players. They can play even when there's not other players online. So part of this is, like I said, it's being developed in parallel. It's not like we're waiting around to build AI until we're done with this other thing. There are different people working on these things. This is just the timeline that makes sense for those things to happen.
Right.
But as I said, kind of looking into phase 3, and there is some overlap here, there's no reason that some of these game modes couldn't benefit from tech that we built in phase 2 as well. So it's not to say you would never see AI in any of your PvP modes. That's something we'll continue to explore. I know it's been brought up a lot. As a way to kind of flesh out the numbers. It's also, remember, it's a hotly contested thing. So people actually hate AI in their competitive modes. And I think that we will continue to look at that and do that only if it's compelling and makes sense, and not as kind of a cheap way to just look like we have more players, because we fully do believe that Fractured Lands is going to get the players that it needs as we continue to flesh out what it is. And what I would say is I have faith that if we add more things that people want to do and get people invested in Fractured Lands, you're not going to have your problems in Battle Royale with low player counts.
Yeah.
We really attempt to solve the player count problem, and we don't really want to smoke and mirrors that problem. So
exactly.
If AI is ever added to a mode like Battle Royale, it will be because that mode benefits from it and we really think it's more fun with it, rather than just because we want to kind of fake fake some stand-in players.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it'll never happen kind of thing. It's more like we're trying the things we think will work best. We've thought about it thoroughly. We're concerned about, obviously, the same thing you guys are concerned about, which is getting in matches quickly with players involved and having a good time. And we're just taking all the routes we think will make that work best. We've had lots of discussions also on Steam forums and just generally everywhere about what we're doing with the game and how to get more players in. And a lot of people point to our pricing model. A lot of people point to our marketing. A lot of people point to different elements like improving performance or improving optimization. One thing no one ever says is that our Battle Royale mode is not fun to play, or that they're not enjoying it well enough. So we're doing everything we can to get people to enjoy the modes that lead them into a better Battle Royale experience and a better just mode experience.
It's a better play versus player experience.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is to me, is that, you know, what you guys want in the end of the day is a good player versus player experience. Battle Royale is one delivery mechanism for that. And again, none of this is an attempt to move away from Battle Royale. It's an attempt to expand upon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And have that be one piece of the pie that makes Fraction Lands an awesome game.
So yeah, I'm excited about 1.0. Thank you guys for sharing it so much. I really appreciate that. We do have one little last teaser. Do you want to tee it up, or do you want to save it to the
I
end?
don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is? Oh, come
Are
on.
you talking about just the image?
Oh, it's the image.
I thought the image was going to go in the back of this.
No, well,
Okay.
it's sort of, so to speak, but yeah.
Well, you can
So-
see. You can show this image.
We had some discussions about what we want to show first, and this is related to what we wanted to talk about first. But just to give you guys a little idea of what we're looking into, we put this image together to kind of.
I'm not going to say anything about this image.
It's
Because all this image was
Let your
supposed
imagination
to,
run
all this
wild.
image was supposed to be was a background of that other thing that you just saw. So I
some
will
good
let-
discussion we
I will
had,
let
and now you can see.
I will let
related-
you completely guess and speculate about this image. I'm literally not going to say anything about it, but
That's okay. That's okay. But I'm glad that we have it.
But you can
because-
react to
Yes, and please do
it.
so.
I agree with ooh. I definitely agree with ooh. This is definitely something that, you know, some people have been working relates to something people have been working really hard on.
Yeah.
Duh. But hey.
All that
I
1.0
felt like I had to
stuff you're
say
looking forward
something.
to.
I felt like I had to
Yes,
say
just a little
something.
something. Cool. Well, thank you guys for checking that out. We still have about 45 minutes. You guys want to stick around and play some games? You got some work to do. I know this guy's like the busiest guy in the world.
We're both fairly busy, but I would definitely stick around for one more match.
All
Are
right.
games still happening?
Yeah, of course this
Oh,
will happen.
sweet.
So yeah,
Let's
Well, the
go.
question is whether we missed it.
No,
I
there
see
should-
Michelle still in a match.
there should
so-
be some.
Okay.
I don't think anyone stopped.
Yeah, let's hop in.
No one stopped because we stopped.
At least cue it up.
First, you can check out this
Cue it
diehard
up. Get in the
image.
queue. Get in the queue.
Getting there.
Get in the queue.
Let me make sure I got it going. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. One second. Well, there we go. I can hear us playing and everything. But I'm going to let someone else give it a try. I played the first round.
All
Feel
right.
free to
All right,
volunteer, one of you.
Yeah,
I'll hop on.
I'm gonna mock Eddie and then
I'll hop on.
and watch him play. By the way, it's very difficult to play on this.
I
table.
can imagine.
So
I'm gonna put
that's
this
the only
over here.
reason
These are
I
the
ever died.
excuses we
That's
constantly
the only
hear.
reason I ever died last time.
That's the reason why I wasn't good at
But I want. But what I
That's
really want
the
to
only
see.
reason why I wasn't a good team player.
What I really want to see is how well Eddie does on it, because now, to be fair, Eddie's desk, not to call you
Well,
out too
not just
publicly
my
on this,
desk, but my
Eddie's desk and
keyboard.
his keyboard are the weirdest fucking.
It's gonna
thing.
be very difficult for me to play on this,
Nobody
but
can play. Eddie's got this really weird split in two keyboard, and Eddie sits about 2
whoa,
feet
whoa,
off the
whoa!
ground.
It's called ergonomic. I don't know what
He's
split
sitting
in
off
two
the ground
means.
with his arms like this high, like he's a kid at the Thanksgiving table. It is. I don't understand how he does it, but it definitely means he's the only one who can use his rig.
Well, I just want to say I have Sir John Cheese and Mario
Ooh, yeah.
on my
Oh,
squad,
that's a dream
so
team.
that means this is a win right here. I'm calling it.
And it means you guys can communicate via Discord.
Oh, that's
right.
true.
Via
That's right.
Twitch. I mean,
They can be stream sniping me, and
It's no problem. This is not a problem. And I gave you your favorite vehicle lately is the Juggernaut, so there you go.
oh, nice.
I'm saying
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite.
proper way to play.
So you're looking forward to the Inceptor horn, you said?
That's my favorite. That thing is amazing. Have you heard it? by any chance?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I work on this game.
Uh,
I directed it, but yes, yeah, I have. heard it.
You directed the horn? You're like, horn!
Go.
Get your ass over there!
but I have not heard it in a live game. I
Oh,
have not
okay.
ever heard
I've
it
never
in
heard
the,
anyone
in the
do that,
wild.
yeah.
I don't think anyone's
Yeah,
unlocked it
got
yet.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. I'm
So
pretty excited
get,
about it.
Get ye into the double XP weekend because I'll just get you there that much quicker.
I gotta say, I've made quite a lot more progress than I thought I would, based on the expansion of the season.
Yeah, we definitely made the progression slower to give people a little bit. I mean,
little-
we're giving them more time, but we were noticing that some of our more dedicated players kind of blew through our content. I will say it feels like that now, but it is an exponential ramp, and I have a feeling that when you get pretty high, you're going to be feeling it. You're going to be looking for those double
I don't
XP
remember
weekends.
what level I am, but I think I'm around 17, 18 level, which
Oh yeah, well,
is a fifth of the way there. But
But see, it's not a fifth of the way. It's an exponential curve.
true.
It's like
But-
a fifth, like a 1/100th of the way there.
I got this, no problem. I'm gonna get to 100 for sure.
I could start placing over-unders on how long it's going to take me to get to 100.
Wasn't I supposed to be able to, or is that not in yet? Oh, there it is.
Oh, the shrug.
Yeah.
I don't got a gun. Sorry, I've never seen that. That's something I've never seen.
What? What do you mean? What? What do you mean you've never seen that?
I don't know that the chances that I would be on a semi-truck with no gun trying to fire. I just did not know that even existed.
You need to start creating some like
There's definitely some things I don't know about this game.
some machinima of our game. Start doing some theatrics.
Man, this thing is definitely in the way.
Yeah, that's a known issue. It's on the list.
Yeah.
I like the bull, the bison skull on the front there.
Hey, we're like twinsies over here. Sir John Cheese, we're twinsies.
Do you shrug in that seat?
I don't think so. I don't think I do anything.
I would have been surprised. That's the train one, nice.
Oh, the train one is
Yeah,
pretty
it's got-
cool.
it's got the train one.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a little
I want
quiet.
that one too.
It's a little quiet.
It is a little
We need to
quiet.
bump up the sound.
We will be on all horns across the board.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And we're
Sound like a threat.
reducing
That does sound like a
reducing the engine sound as well.
Yeah, that's
across the
become a
board.
little bit of an issue with that boy.
Yeah.
Hard to hear your teammates over there.
Engine
Sound
noise.
beyond me. But we're not. You'll still be able to hear it at the same distance, correct?
Yes, correct.
Oh, whoops.
Oh no.
Play together.
Other semi-truck horns
What?
that didn't make the cut yet. Tugboat horn.
What?
I wanted to do.
Oh my
Oh, no.
god.
Oh dear.
What the hell? What the hell?
Enjoy having a Slim Merc in your team as well. He's been playing for quite a long time.
Oh, nice.
Oh, now we got
Yeah.
Cosmo Reverb staring at us.
Cosmo Reverb, who couldn't survive the last game.
That's right.
Oh, that's the whole squad here. Let's do this. What's your favorite vehicle, Farren?
Oh, the bike.
The bike?
Yeah, she was saying that earlier.
The bike, mostly because. Why do I like the bike? I like the bike because I'm a close range player, and I like to get right up on people. I like the bike because it's just fun for me to zip around. I like taking on like much larger vehicles than me and kind of like taunting them. We purposely made all the horns for the bike more taunty. I was
Oh,
mentioning
man.
that last week. So
That's Sir
and
John
I-
Cheese. Whenever I play with him, he's like,
yeah, I definitely that's more the kind of player I am. I'm kind of just like kind of an asshole. The truck is the truck is for people who want to and who don't mind announcing their presence because they can back that shit up. And the bike is for people like me who want to remain unseen and get the hell away from you as quickly as possible.
It
I
does
also- I
zip
also-
around pretty nicely.
It zips
too.
around pretty nicely. I will say that I've probably become too addicted to it to the point where, like, when I go back to the car, I remember that I miss certain aspects of it.
Especially being able to take cover. That's the huge downside to the bike is
Yeah,
if you
you-
ever get in trouble, it's not going to be able to...
Yeah, if you're in the middle
The
of
only way it
nowhere.
can bail you out is by driving away. It cannot
Yeah.
bail you out by giving you cover.
For sure.
And because I'm a hoarder,
God.
the bike
Self-described.
The bike
the
doesn't give
bike
you
doesn't
enough,
really
uh,
give me
space,
enough
right?
space. I mean, if I find the bike storage, the storage box or whatever it's called, that's actually pretty good. But
You know what's funny is that ever since I've been using the Juggernaut, I've noticed even more so now how limited the space is on the bike, or even how limited the gas capacity is on the bike. And I'll just like lament anytime I'm on the bike, like, oh man, I got gas like all the time. I
Yeah, you definitely
drop
gotta
things all the time, and I
You
never
definitely
felt that
gotta
way
refuel a lot, and
until I had
because
the
it can't.
Juggernaut.
Yeah, you have to refuel it because it can't carry a lot of fuel. You can't necessarily stock up on it. So
Yeah.
you got to be wise with how you use it.
however, you know something you do notice with the Juggernaut that you didn't with the bike is the weight of the Juggernaut attachments are so heavy, and like everything on the bike barely weighs anything. You can you can carry legendary bike items in your backpack and still have room. But with the Juggernaut, you pick up you pick up one set of whatever jets or jump wheels, and it's taking up like half of your storage capacity on your person.
I'm gonna fill up this batch.
I think there is still a game going on.
I don't know. Can't really tell you.
Unless people quit. Do they think it's 1 hour playtest?
No. You go till 7.
They might think it's only 1 hour.
I will yell at everyone.
Farren, direct him.
Shit out of them.
But yeah, I'm excited for 1.0. That stuff, I know, we only were able to share just a little bit so far,
Yeah.
but it's all pretty exciting. We're working really hard on it. It's like they've said, it's so ambitious that, what they want to execute on is going to pretty radically change a lot of the stuff that's in this game.
Yeah. It's gonna feel like, because it will be a whole new game.
Yeah.
And it'll definitely feel like Battle Royale is just a small part of that bigger game.
A part that hopefully with all these changes will be able to grow it on its own
Correct.
even further. And
Correct.
Just like
Yeah.
now we'll have all this content that will increase and amplify all the amount of time that people want to play the game, and then they'll just say, hey, I'm here already. Let me go jump into the
Yeah.
match.
Have people stopped?
Some of them have. They're coming back in.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
I could play on your station, except you've got a fucking weird keyboard mouse setup.
Where's your laptop? Bring it right here. You can play right here, right next to me.
That's not a bad
You have a
point.
laptop.
It's not a bad point.
Yeah, should play that
I'll even scoot
I'll
this
have to
over
be
if
on
you want some.
I'll have to be on Wi-Fi, so I won't have the mouse.
I can get you a network cable if you want to use it.
Okay.
All right.
All
Why
right,
is that
let's
easy?
do this.
Is that easy? I don't
Double-
wanna be like,
double
yeah,
streaming.
No, it's very easy.
Double
All right,
streaming.
I'll just stream snipe you then.
So, guys, now that it's just us, come on. Let me give you guys the real lowdown, right? Aren't I the real player here? Popsicle and Farren Fox, whatever, right? Come on. When it comes to devs, hands down, right here, right? I'm glad that you guys agree. I'm just happy about that. Because those other two, they like to, toot their own horns and we're so amazing, blah, blah, blah. But you guys know. You guys know. I'm glad about that. Pretty happy about that. Mario's mentioning. Okay, cool. Mario's letting us know that everybody else. Yeah. Yes, Mario. Unreal's pretty cool. Unreal gets a thumbs up.